So I just have one simple question for you. What is your Paris? Now, you might be wondering what I mean by that. And I actually have this little Eiffel Tower here. It sits in my office. It's a gift from one of my students because they know I love Paris and they know I love the Eiffel Tower. And they know I teach a concept called What's Your Paris? And what I mean by that is, what is your big why? What is your North Star? What is the thing that really motivates you to do the thing you're out there doing day in, day out? Because sometimes it gets hard. Like Event Life, I love Event Life. I love high ticket offers. I love 3-day virtual live events. I love putting them together to have a purpose-driven payday. But here's the thing, it's not bippity boppity boo. It's not a magic wand that I just wave over you. Like, there's actual real work involved. And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to design your content or fill your live event or get your swag boxes out or confirm your next speaker or figure out your offer. Like, there can be some heavy lifting there. But none of it feels hard when you're connected to your big why for doing it. In fact, all of it seems easy when you're connected to a North Star, which is your higher purpose. It's the thing, the calling that you were born with, this calling, this meant for moreness that you know is in you. Like, you know you're meant for more. You don't even necessarily know why or how. You've just always known you're meant for more. And that's purpose, right? That's your purpose-driven piece of this. But there's also the payday piece of it, right? Which is, what could it afford you if you had time and money freedom? What would you do with time and money freedom? I mean, I know for me, I'd be heading to Paris with my husband, Blue. Like, one of our favorite things to do is go spend time in France. So when I think about the hard things, they seem so much easier when I think, when this all works out and I have my purpose-driven payday, I actually could go spend a week or 2 weeks or a month or, I don't know, a year in Paris. And then all of a sudden the hard things don't seem so hard anymore. So I often think of this as your big why, and it's a key exercise that you need to do in order to design your high ticket offer. Most people skip this. They're just thinking like, what deliverables? What could I sell? What's really crushing right now? What's something that I could offer that everybody's buying? What's trending right now? It's actually not the right way to do it, in my opinion. Every single client, every single student, we start with one simple exercise, and it's called the big why, and it's based on What's Your Paris? Okay, here's how it goes. At the top of the axis is your big why. It's the thing that most motivates you, personally, professionally, financially. What's your Paris? It goes there at the top. On the bottom of that is your right fit client. That counterbalances you. There's your big why and their big why. What motivates your right fit client? What has your right fit client rave, renew, and recruit? Now, when I'm thinking of right fit client, I think of psychographics, demographics, and value graphics, where they live, what they eat, how many kids they have, how much money they make, what keeps them up at night, what values they hold dear. I want you to know everything about them, and that they literally counterbalance you. If it's too much about you, your high ticket offer won't work. If it's too much about them, your high ticket offer won't work. So what's your Paris? What's their Paris? Counterbalances for one another. And then the last question I want you to ask yourself about your right fit client is, what would make them rave about you, renew year after year, and recruit other people to work with you? That belongs on the other axis. Rave, renew, and recruit. What would make your right fit client rave, renew, and recruit? What outcomes? And this is the key. It's the what. And it's counterbalanced by your non-negotiables, the things that you would not do no matter how much money they pay you. That right fit client writes you a check for $1 million. You're like, not worth it if I have to do what? You never want to compromise your non-negotiables. You want to design your offer around your non-negotiables so that you love your offer. So your non-negotiables are counterbalanced by your right fit client's raving fan deliverables. What would make them rave, renew, and recruit? And again, if it's too much about your non-negotiables, it won't work. If it's too much about what would make them rave, renew, and recruit, and it compromises your non-negotiables, it also won't work. So this counterbalance, this access, literally is the heart of designing your high ticket offer. If you skip these steps, I promise you what you end up with is either an offer that doesn't convert or an offer that converts, but you don't love it. Meaning that, I'm so glad I'm making this money, but I hate delivering this offer, or I don't love the people I work with, or it's just not enough to motivate me. It's not enough of Paris. So all you have to think about is, what is the axis for you? What's your Paris? Who's your right fit client? What are your non-negotiables? And what would make your right fit client rave, renew, and recruit? It's a super simple exercise, and I promise you it works. All you have to do is answer one simple question to start. What's your Paris?